Hello, this is Vance, and this is Wednesday, October the 15th, 2014. These are the CL trades for today, pre-market. Well, over the course of the last few days, few sessions, we've had a significant decline in the price of oil. We've gone down to the 80, as of just right now, just a few minutes ago, we went down to $80 as far as price is concerned. Just touched that, $80 and 1 cent. And this unwinding of the price of oil from over the last number of sessions is kind of in conjunction with the concerns that we have in the global markets, China, India, the softness in Europe, and really the only strength has been the U.S. market, and even that is kind of unwinding because pulling things down. The U.S. currency is very high. And so it's evident that the U.S. has always been a flight to quality. So when there's concerns, the rest of the marketplace, and the U.S. economy is doing pretty well. So the problem is the rest of the economies, the rest of the world economies aren't, and so the price of the U.S. economy is pulled down in concert, likely because of the softness in the global economy. Because whatever the U.S. produces has to be sold to other markets, and unfortunately, if the other markets are soft, they're not buying. Price of oil is likely down because of the same thing. I mean, that partially. I mean, I think some of the other reasons, like more of the newsworthy items, is that supply is up somewhat. And you have to remember that for what we're doing, we're trading the front month contracts. We're trading the November contract. That being said, price of oil being down so much is at this juncture seems a little excessive. But the problem is that how do we handle that as far as traders are concerned? Using what we're looking for is that we're looking for sort of support or resistance in the short term. I mean, yesterday is a really good example. I mean, if you take a look at yesterday from roughly noon, I mean, it looked like it was shaping up to be maybe a range day up until noon yesterday. And then the bottom fell out of the market. So from $84 all the way to $81, I mean, we had, like, in that afternoon period, we had a $3 decline, 84.67 to 81.42, well, pardon me, a $3 decline. And then from the overnight now, we're down to $80. And so from the peak of yesterday, $84.67 to now, it's $80. So we're looking at a $5 decline roughly. Over that period of time. Certainly $5 since yesterday. I mean, it was over $85. So we've had a $5 decline in price of oil, which represents on that price significant percentage drop, over 5%, 6%. And we had that all in one day. So you have to recognize that as softness in the marketplace. Now, what do we do for today? The challenge that we face today is that where we start right now, a high of 82.45 and a low of 80.01. And the funny thing is, if you would have talked to me about this 4 weeks ago, or a month and a half or 6 weeks ago, I would have said the price of oil would be $80 within the next 6 weeks. I would have said you were crazy. This doesn't seem to be the case. But we're in fact at that point. It is what it is. So we can't trade, I can't trade based on the fact that where I thought price should be or where it needs to be. It really has to do based on the price action. And right now, the momentum, you have to take the fact that the momentum is down. And take this into consideration. The market could stay wrong longer than you can stay liquid. So if this price is the wrong price, it could go down another $2 to $3. It could go down to $70. It could. That's a possibility because we don't know what's going to happen over the next 1 day, 3 days, 5 days. The bottom could kind of drop out of the market completely. The concern in the U.S. market is not really immediate at this point for a lot of the pundits out there, and I have a tendency to agree with them in that regard. However, if this is sustained, if we don't see any signs that we're coming to the end of this turmoil, the prices may stay down for a lot longer. And don't get me wrong. I mean, the fact of the matter is that all markets correct at some point in time. The challenge with oil, however, with crude oil, is that it's correcting a lot lower than we would anticipate, considering that we need. This is a commodity that the world really needs to function. Anyway, that's it for my observations. Let's take a look at what we think of what's going to happen today, or what's my thoughts on today. Well, as I said, prices unwound for a dramatic amount over the course of the last couple of sessions, and because of that, what are we looking for? A bottom? We're looking for a turnaround and that sort of thing. So the only thing we can really consider is the fact that this decline. I'm just drawing some of the lines. This decline that we've experienced right here, and the low that we've seen at this $80 mark, have to consider a bit of a bounce or a line in the sand, I suppose. We'll probably have resistance there. We're a little ways away from the open, 10 minutes away from the open. We've already had this, we had this decline here. Will we retest? Will prices head up here? And where is the top? Well, if we look at it from the perspective of, we've had some resistance. This looks like a reasonable area right here. We've had some touches here where price can't get above. And so let's take a look at, suggest this is support for the time being. And here's kind of a short-term trend channel right here. Okay, I'll put those lines in here. Just like that, I guess. And lastly, across here. Looks reasonable. And the low of the day. So prices declined to this area. We've had this pullback. There is resistance down here. So we'll see how price responds to this area. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Is it going to be a range day? Are we going to retest this overnight? Because the overnight high is 82.45. Is this $80 mark the new mark? This decline that we've had is $2.50 overnight, which is a pretty dramatic decline in the overnight, generally speaking. It's not usually that great. It indicates that there's softness overseas, and we'll see what happens at 9 o'clock. We could have a further sell-off, depending on how New York responds when it does open. The other thing is that DOE report isn't today. It's going to be tomorrow at 11 o'clock. I mentioned yesterday on the final recap that the DOE report is going to be this morning, or it's not. The holiday, the bank holiday, moves the report to 11 o'clock, so it's going to be on Thursday when that report's going to come out. So that's what we have to look at as far as, so we don't have to worry about that for today. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll have an update later, final recap, see how things go. I mean, my tendency is that, we're a little bit, I'll look for the price action. We've had some pretty reasonable declines here, but I still think we're just we're a tad oversold, I would say. And we'll see how New York opens and responds to this. Is New York enough to pull prices back up to real more normalized levels? And what do I mean by more normalized? Well, none of the charts really make a lot of sense. Let's take a look at this. Here's the 1440 chart, and this is where price is currently. And as you can see, this is the lowest oil prices have been going back for a couple of years. So it's been there, but look how quickly it developed. It's not like it kind of moved its way down slowly. We just kind of fell. This decline happened in a very compressed period of time. Realistically, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 trading days where this has happened, whereas most of the other declines of this magnitude is taking a lot longer. I mean, look at it from this perspective. I mean, this is a pretty decent decline, but we're talking about over 5, 10, 15, like over 3 weeks and prior to that. And so this has been this is a pretty major decline here as well that we experienced. And this is back in the beginning of January. So, but certainly not to, I mean, that decline wound up at $84. We're $5 past that. So 84.70, 84.62, and we're at, like this $80 and 1 cent. So we're $5 past that. So we started at the same level, but we've gone a lot farther. So we're off like $14 since going back to just the beginning of the month. That's a very large decline. percentage-wise. And we haven't had a decline in oil prices like this for going back for quite a while. I think we had the oil prices like that well ago, like for 2 years here. So it's a fairly dramatic decline. Anyway, so it's kind of an anomaly. Where's the bottom of this? I mean, is the bottom? Are we going to? Is it going to be a lot further than that? Are we going down to like $75, $70? Is that a possibility? It remains to be seen. Anyways, we're going to follow the price action. That's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Vance. Bye for now.